Okay, let's get started with our basic animation bouncing ball series right here. It'll be a long video, the 3 parts, so that we can explain it in details to you guys so you understand what it takes to kind of get started with animation along with its finishing touches. All right, there'll be other lessons later on to cover the things that we'll implement on this video in much more detail. Um, so let's get started first with modeling and gathering reference textures for this project. Okay, so I have preloaded a bunch of stuff. So first thing is that we're looking for the Pixar ball. So just type in Pixar ball, and then when you scroll down here, you'll see texture. You grab one of these type of texture right here. Make sure you download them, right? Another one is just type in Andy's room floor. And the first thing that pop up right there, it can be different, but this is what I ended up using, okay? Andy's room floor. And then another one is Andy's room wallpaper. Okay, and this is what I got right here. So I got those 3 textures and downloaded them, and let's get started. All right, so I'll start a new file here. Okay, and we'll start with a cube. I'm gonna turn on my screencast. All right, I'm going to press 1 to make sure I'm in the front right here. So what I'll do is I will go to edit mode, go to face mode, and select the top, front, left, and the right side of the cube and delete them. I only have the inside, front, and the floor right there. Okay, if we look at our orientation of our so they are basically, it's reverse. Okay, so we're looking at it from the back. When you get red, your normals are inverted. Blue is the normal one. Since we want to use this as our working environment here, I'm going to press A to select both. Okay, I'm going to go to mesh, normals, and then flip. So now we will be texturing the inside front and the inside bottom right here, and not the outside. Okay, so basically I just flip the normal. What happens if you don't flip the normal? You're probably going to have to rotate your texture, that's all. You'll still see it. It will still render nice and proper. Okay, and let me turn that off. I'm in my overlay right here. I'm going to uncheck face orientation. All right, so another thing is that there's a baseboard on the photo for Andy's room. Let's take a look real quick. So we're just going to get something similar to this baseboard right here. All right, floor and wallpaper, and then we get the ball. All right, so let's do that. That's just basically a cube. I will scale it, and I'm just eyeballing this stuff. Right, so I'm going to go make that a little longer. So I'm going to use my scale tool here, so you see the tools that I'm using. Okay, then we'll make that thinner. All right, for baseboards, that's probably fine right there. So I will just slide this all the way, okay, to the back wall, which will receive the wallpaper treatment, and then move it all the way down. Looking at the photo, there's a little bit of gap at the bottom. It's kind of like it's lifted up a bit, which is typical of baseboards because the floor does expand. So they give it a little bit of leeway right there, and then not too close to the back wall. Just a little bit, so it can cast kind of like an ambient occlusion shadow in there. You'll kind of see it. Okay, so or let's move it really a lot closer than that one. Okay, that's fine right there. And I'm going to apply a scale to that one so that I can go to edit mode and then do my edit modeling right here. So for the baseboard, I'm just going to do Control R, do loop cuts, scroll it twice so that I get that 2 cuts right there. And I'm just going to move this up around here. Okay. This cut right here, I'm going to select it all the way. So I'm going to do Option or Alt click. It goes all the way around. And let's move that up just a little bit right there. Okay. And then one more cut in the middle. And what I'll do with a cut in the middle is that we're going to select this edge, move it back a little bit, and then move it up a bit right there. So we can do a bevel. So if I right click this, bevel that edge. Okay, and I want that much bevel right there. I'm going to turn on, open my bevel property right here. I'm going to add a bunch of segments so that thing is kind of smooth. All right, and then we'll do the same thing for this one. We're going to bevel this as well. And it'll most likely inherit the settings right there, which is fine. Okay, and there it is. So we just need to mark this edge right here and that one as sharp. Mark sharp so that they would be pronounced when we do the smooth shade. So when I right click this, shade smooth it, it's doing what it needs to do regarding this part and that part, but we lose all the details. So that's when we go to the data property, normals, and put on auto smooth, and there's our baseboard. All right, so now we're almost ready. So I'm going to select here the floor and the wall. I'm going to hit tab. Okay, to go to edit mode, I'm going to go to face mode and select the floor. Let's go to the top. Okay, right there, and then I'm going to unwrap this, project from view. Okay, so I'm projecting that from view. Means nothing right now because we haven't done any texture into it. So I'm just going to go to the texture shader. All right, so this is the original one, so this is being shared for both. Okay, so I'm going to add another one, new. Okay, we're going to call this one, this is the wallpaper. And then we're going to call this one, this is the wood floor. All right, so for the wood floor, it's this part right here, which is the bottom. I'm going to click assign. Don't do anything because it's just color right there. So now let's add. All right, so far you guys been using the shading editor, grabbing stuff and all that. So we'll just do it the in a way traditional way right here. I'm going to go UV editing, or another way of doing it is I'm going to click on this button right here and then click on image texture. So that's the same thing as we were doing before by dragging a texture into the shader. So this is just another way of doing it. So if this thing is still confusing to you, don't do it here. Go to the shading tab and do the usual thing. Okay, so I'm going to click open. I'm going to navigate to my photos, and this room is what I called where all these things will be. And there's my floor. I'm going to click open, and voila, there it is. It's massive because I need to redo my UV here. So I'm going to click A to select everything. I'm going to scale it, and G to move it. So it's almost encompassing everything. How's that with the size? That's probably fine. Okay. I'm going to now select the wall right here. I'm going to press number 1. I'm going to press U to unwrap, project from view. So we go click the wallpaper, assign it. It should be assigned already, but click assign anyway just to make sure. I'm going to apply a texture to this, an image texture. And we're going to click open. I'm going to click on pictures, and this room, wallpaper. And there's that. And all I need to do is press A to select everything, S to scale. It's kind of go like this. Maybe one more time here. U, project from view. There it is. It's now squarish. It wasn't the correct one before. All right, and yeah, I'll go with that. Okay, so that's that. Not crucial with what we need to do. It is an animation project after all. So all right, I just don't want the, since we're going to bounce a ball right here, I don't want that to take center stage. So I'm just going to move it like that. All right, so we got the that might be annoying to a lot of people right there. Let's see. All right, right there. Okay. So that should take care of the back wall baseboard, and then the floor. Let's fix the floor a little bit. Let's add a. Let's go to the shading now. Let's add a little bit of a bump, just a little bit. All right, so that the shadow doesn't look like it's falling on a wallpaper for a floor, right? Which I guess this would be like a linoleum, but pretty sure Andy's room is real wood. All right, so I'm going to select the Andy's room since we didn't have your traditional roughness, normal map or bump map. What else is in there? Some elevation map, metalness, and all that. So we only got the floor, right? So I'm gonna select this, Command C, Command V to copy it. So I get two of these ones. The reason is I want to change the color space on the bump. So if I click this non-color, this one would follow as well. So it's like a never-ending game of tag. Okay. So what we need to do is make another user for this one. Click that so it becomes unique. So I click number 2. So let me do that again. Click on number 2 right here. Then if I change one of these to non-color, that one doesn't follow and you get two kind of unique ones. Okay, non-color. And Shift A, we're going to add vector bump. If you're not sure what's happening, go look at our old videos where where I showcase this in the texturing series. Okay, color to height, normal to normal. Too much, and it's a low res, which is fine, right? I'm going to go lower the strength by a lot, and then invert also because we want the groove to be on the where it's what do you call it, receding, okay, on the plank. All right, okay, it's better than nothing. It's a low res image, so okay, almost done. Now we need to set up our camera. I'm gonna go to modeling right here so we could see what's happening at a bigger scale. Okay, I'm gonna press 0 to see what the camera's looking at. All right, I'm gonna press N for the sidebar, view, camera to view, so that we can control the camera now. But before that, let's select the camera. Let's change the and we're gonna go with a vertical video just so that it's easier to kind of see since we're only bouncing a ball up and down repeatedly. Okay, so I'm just gonna reverse the number, 1080 by 1920. So we get a portrait aspect camera view. Okay, we're also gonna change the I'm gonna go tab, go to object mode. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna click camera. We're gonna change the focal length of this one to, we're gonna double it to 100 millimeter. Okay, there's that. Let's click on preview right here, and then I'm just going to kind of zoom in and something like that for now. Okay, all right, next we're going to add the ball. So Shift A, make sure you do this in object mode when you do Shift A and add a new object. UV sphere. This thing is massive, so we're going to scale it maybe about that much. Okay, right click it to shade smooth. We're going to go to the front. Okay, let's add a texture to this. So let's go to texture right here, a new one, go to base color. Let's add image texture, open the Pixar ball. Okay. All right, so now we need to press tab. Let's go to UV editing. Make sure you're in face mode, select all right here. Press U, project from view. Press 8 to select everything here. Press scale. Oops, sorry. And then just kind of, yeah, that should be fine right there. So you can see we now have this ball. All right, and let's take a look. We might need to make it a little bit more shiny. So this is, I'm assuming this is kind of like a soft rubber ball. Okay. Let's select the floor, wood floor. How shiny is this? Not too shiny, so a little bit more roughness there. Wallpaper, definitely rough. All right, and I'm going to go to modeling here, press 0 to camera, and then maybe just slightly right there, and that should take care of part 1. This is modeling the Andy's room so that we can just do a bouncing ball with a little bit of character in there. We're not just bouncing a regular sphere, and all the lessons, of course, covered here. It's just a rehash of the previous one where we've done multiple practice with this. All right. Well, I think I forgot something. I forgot the lighting. Okay, let's turn on lighting. And let's enable all the good stuff first. All right. So first thing is I'm going to go switch to animation tab because this gives me, and I'm looking at the real render right here. Okay. This gives me a preview of the camera plus a working environment here. It's just a quick way to kind of do things. Okay. So I'm on Eevee. I'm going to turn on all the things that we turn on in Eevee, okay? Mandatory for all render. Ambient occlusion. Bloom, let's add bloom in there. Why not? Screen space reflection, so we get a little reflection on the floor. And then finally, under shadow, click on high bit depth on your shadow. No need to change the resolution right here, okay? And another thing is that we got to add our lights now. Should we keep the original light that's there? Or is it there? It's up there. Yeah, why not? We can always remove it if. Okay, so let's just pretend that there's a big window right here. That's where the main light source will be. Okay, so first things first, let's add an area light. So I'm going to go number 1. Okay, Shift A, light, area light. We're going to leave this on top. Okay, I'm going to press T right here to get my tools. I'm going to move this up. Okay. As you can see on the screen, I'm just going to go above the framing right there, which kind of eliminates that one, right? And let's see here. I also need to move this ball to the bottom. Okay. Let's move it right there. For now, while we're lighting it, then we got to set this up. Okay. I'm just going to move it, kind of eyeball that. If I press N right here, that should say... Well, it says point. What does it say here? 0.8. So whatever the value, it doesn't matter. You know, we'll change that. Just that I wanted to see the shadow right there. Okay. So we got the one area light at the top. Okay. I'm gonna go number 3 right here on the numpad to go to the side view. I'm going to duplicate this area light. Shift D. I'm going to press rotation, press R, but I'm going to hold down control so it snaps to 5-degree increment. Okay, and you can see if I hide this, that's before and after. Okay, so I'm going to undo. All right, so we're getting some light at the front right here. And I'm keeping everything as default right now, whatever this lights up. I take 10 watts. Okay, I'm just going to kind of leave it right there. Okay, so we got 2 area lights. Let's add another one. So select the top area light and press number 1. I'm going to duplicate this, move it over here. This is that big window we're talking about with the main light source. I'm going to press rotate R, hold down control so I can snap it. I'm going to scale this one, big window. Okay. And we're going to change it from 10 watts to 100 watts. All right, there it is. So that's kind of like our window lighting. For this one, and that should be it. Okay, we have our lights, we got our texture for this one. Maybe our bump map went a little too crazy. Let's see, what's our bump map value? Is it I'm gonna go 0.2. Okay, let's go at 0.2. Let's take a look here. All right, this is what it looks like right here. Okay. And that's probably fine right there. Okay, so this is it. So save your file at this point. And then we're going to continue with part 2 with our keyframing. And then I'm going to allow myself to show you all the mistakes. Well, not the mistakes, before the correction so that you understand why we do the things we do. All right, so save your file and then I'll see you in part 2.